Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Casper here, and today we are looking at commodities, gold and silver, oil, all that good stuff, um, which they will be released every Wednesday and Friday at the weekly closes. But this week we only had actually we had 3 days of trading given the futures were open. So yeah, as always, follow me on Twitter and YouTube and all that good stuff. You know what to do. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, and just a side note. I made two videos on uranium, one where we looked at the Australian miners only, and one where I looked at uranium compared to other assets. So we looked at the uranium with different ratios to other assets like the Nasdaq, what you call the SPX and so on. And overall, uranium looks very good. It's still a bit early, but it looks fantastic. So please check those out if you are interested in that. I think you are. I found it very good, of course. Okay, let's look into it. Here we have silver. The past 1, 2, 3, especially the past 3 days has been very red, and yeah, we're still in the green uptrend, which is ideal. But I personally I don't want to have a sixth touch here up here because every time we hit on a trend line, it gets weaker and weaker. And for this one, we only have two. Well, maybe a bit more, but still, I count this as one, and then two up there. So hopefully we can find some sort of bottom here. Again, the pressure is heavy to the downside. Let's just quickly look at you can see here. I mean, this move here it looks done to me. It really do. We're also getting some positive divergence here. Again, I don't use it that often, but we have some negative, positive divergence on the 1 hourly. But still, let's see. I know tomorrow we have some important news. I can't remember what it is. Sorry for that. I don't want to fight it now, but there is some important news that could definitely affect the dollar, which will help gold and silver if it's negative for the dollar. So again, this one, a lot of pressure here. I can't find, maybe over here we had the same type of pressure. Here again, you can see the moves, and yeah, I think we need to turn here. I don't want to get us below the 22, 22.1, 22.2, these lows here. That opens up for a big can of worms, in my opinion. If we start to get down here, you do not want to see that. If you're a bull, if you want to buy at a cheaper price, of course, that would be nice for you. Here we have, there it is, gold. Still nothing. Well, nothing has happened, but still, we are on this. In my view, what I'm looking at is that squeeze right there. And this uptrend channel was broken to the downside, and the neckline here on the 1 hourly at 1950, 35 was the trigger to have some short-term downwards momentum. Again, as long as we are above that golden trend line, it's all fine in the hood, as you say. I don't know. Also look where we are. You can see here, if I add a trend line here, let's slap it on right there. Blue one, let's zoom in. You can see that we are just hovering around that old 2011 high, which we ideally want to hold, of course. I don't know if it's 1920 or 1916, but still, I would like to hold that. It doesn't look like we will, though. So yeah. Gold to silver ratio. Ah, man. I mean, I was so happy here when we started to break down, but you can still see ever since we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 massive green candles, and hopefully this arc will do what it has to do, and we start to come down again here. This is the first day where we might have a tiny wick here. All the other days we have closed at the top more or less. So hopefully we start to curl over here and then we finally do it. But Jesus, man, what it has shown me is that really this level here, the 78.5 is really the most important level right now to watch. Also together with this long-term up golden trend line here. There are actually two, but still. When we get those taken out, we will at some point in time. Again, we have had two big tries. We had this one here, and then we curled up again. And then you had a better attempt here, I would say, but still we couldn't quite hold. The dollar has been quite strong for the past 2-3 months, as you can see here. This is the dollar. To me, it looks kind of extended, but again, it has taken out some. To add them again, excuse me, guys. No, I don't know why they keep getting removed. So we have taken out some long-term trend lines, and it definitely looks bullish. But to me, this is a massive move up here, and it needs to relax. It needs to somehow pull back. That's how I see it often. Again, I'm not. We have made a higher high here. Hopefully, we will just peak above here and then we crash down. That would be ideal. But yeah, again, the dollar looks very strong. But for some reason, everyone was a dollar bear here, and now everyone is a dollar bull. So my take is that we start to curl down here. Again, the news tomorrow could be the trigger. I can't remember what the data was, but maybe someone can write it in the comments below. Is it non-farm payrolls or jobless claims? I think it's jobless claims. Anyways, we will find out tomorrow. The 10-year still teasing us with that double top up here, and for some reason again they are gone. Why the bleep? There it is. We came to the double top and then we tested that longish term trend line there, and we are bouncing up from it again. Somewhat back into the rising wedge right there. But again, it really comes down to this. If we get a break above here and stay, then we are going for at least 1% higher, like 5% or so. If this is just a bull trap and then we come down again, then obviously we are going a tad lower. I think it depends on the data that comes out in the near future, what happens here with the rates. Again, the US government don't want the rates to go that high because they had a lot of debt that needs to be rolled over into new rates, and I think the old ones is like 1 or 2%, and they don't want to refinance at 5%. I can tell you that's for sure. That would break the economy, I guess. Oil looks absolutely fantastic. Again, as you know, I thought we would go down all the way down to roughly 75. We got to like 77, and then we reversed heavily. So that was, in a sense, more bullish because the bull stepped in way earlier than I expected. So yeah, oil overall, let me zoom out for you guys. You know the chart, I guess. You've seen it many times. Long-term downtrend, right there it is. Big breakout here. And then we came all the way down for a major retest roughly at the 70s. And now we're just curling back up again here. So this on a weekly, this is the weekly chart. For now, this is overall insanely bullish for oil. As long as we are above this one here, the neckline, there it is. There it is. And of course, we have the blue one here, which was the back test right there. But then again, are we above 80, 84? Full on bullish mode again. If we dip below, then we have support at the blue rail, and then we might see 75. But still, for now, oil insanely bullish. It doesn't matter that we are overbought right now. The trend, we have made higher highs, and this is a major bottom in my view. This is fantastic. If you are an energy or oil bull. Palladium, again, I'm getting very bullish on Palladium. Mentioned before, we have my 5-wave count here, and I think we will just snag a quick touch here at 1150, give or take. Why? Let's zoom out to see the evidence. In my view, there it is. 2018. The pivot highs there are the major highs, and now we're coming into that one right here. So my take, or my assumption, of course, I need to have it approved first, is that we get down here to 1150, and then we shoot up here. We have the count in place, we have the long-term support. Platinum is insanely rare, and as you know, we've been following this for quite a long time, this bottom here. And you can also see for the past 2 days, below that white trend line here at around 1200, you can see they're getting bought up there, and there. This was the two big, the buyer stepped in quickly here. So there is a lot of buyers in this zone just below. So yeah, but I think I don't know when it will happen. It could be, maybe we need September and October to clear this apex. But if we start to curl up here again, you should be excited because there are plenty of shorts on Palladium. There still is. Platinum, look at this, similar to silver, massive down days. We talked about it when we got up here that we might start to see some weakness. I didn't expect, a full on, I wouldn't say collapse. And then again, this is just, I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles almost taking out 10 green candles over here. So the bears are definitely in control, just below that, below the 20K level, 20K, what I'm saying, the 1K level. Hopefully we can have, roughly the $900 level hold again and again and again. So as long as we don't take out these lows here, especially this one here, then we're good. Then we could be potentially, and I say potentially, we have some sort of lead in here, connecting there, and then we have maybe, and I say maybe because it's very early, possibly an inverted head and shoulders in play here. Again, I don't say it right now, oh, it is a head and shoulders because I need the confirmation, but the pattern could be there, so I will add it in. And if we start to curl up here again, then that just confirms my take on it, my view on it. Again, if you start to go like this, forget about that inverted head and shoulders. It doesn't matter at all, and we are going to much lower prices. Possibly if we take out, let's call it 870, give or take, this low here, and then it opens up for a big spill, just like on silver. Copper, good old Dr. Copper. Again, nothing to share. Above 4, major bull. That would also mean we break out from that triangle right there, which is the main. And then if we get below the lower golden trend line, you should be worried. And again, if we take out 3.5, then we are going much lower if we take out that one. So that's my take. As long as we are here in that triangle, there's basically nothing to do. You don't know who wins, if it is the bulls or if it is the bears. So boring, yes, I know. Nat gas still in the bear flag here. It looks more and more, to be honest, that we might break down here. But again, until proven, we cannot say anything. The big level is roughly at around 2.5, 2.45, give or take, these lows over here. If we take those out, then it opens up for more downside for nat gas. Also, if you look at the European, we have had 3 big red days here, at least the past 2, 3 out of 4, excuse me, have been very red. And it just proves that the 44 is the big level to go. But as long as this long term, there it is, going back to 2018, 21. And here we have, the touch, and then we broke through in 2021. We tagged it here, almost here. So as long as this major golden trend line here holds at around 23, give or take. As long as that one holds, I still think it's working on a bottom here. But yeah, nothing to do for me. As long as we are here, you can buy the lows, and then of course has to stop below. But for me, it's purely range bound right now, and we will see what happens. So that's also quite boring to look at. This is, I need to go to Heikin-Ashi because otherwise you can't see anything. And we need to go to the weekly. This is Newcastle Coal Futures, 2011 high. And then we have, a break up here, retest here. And now we're just testing here again, and we are coming up. Let me go to the daily, zoom in a bit here. And we are coming up here. So it could be that this level at roughly 140 still holds to this day. We will have to wait and see. I think we need a bit more data points here to confirm it. But yeah, good old Bitcoin, good old Bitcoin. I wanted to look at this just to see how, I wouldn't say sketchy, but how fragile Bitcoin is right now. This goes back roughly a year and a half. We have broken that golden trend line here. And when we did, you can see the spill right here. Let me go back to the normal candles. You can see here, we broke that right here, that level, 18,800, and that golden trend line. And then whoosh, all the way down to 25,300, give or take, which is a massive level. And if we lose that, then it opens up you can see all the air gap that we have here. All this space here, basically filled with nothing right now. But I can assure you, if we lose that, then we are in for a big a big drop, in my view, for Bitcoin. But let's take that when we get there if we break down. Obviously, if we hold, which it does look like, and getting above 31K, you can see all the lovely fresh air that we have up here. So yeah, it's very sketchy right now for Bitcoin. I will say that. And this is the inverted head and shoulders, and that's the neckline at 25.5, 25.3K. That's why it's so important. We haven't looked at the lovely uranium futures in a while. I don't know why. Why didn't you say anything? I don't know why. Obviously, I mean, well, not obviously, but this is just bullish all over. In my view, we are going to visit this high up here. That's the path of least resistance. So we are currently at 61, and the high is at 64. So that we will meet, I think, and then we will have some sort of retrace. But again, let's zoom out here. This is beautiful. Again, I think there's a major bottom in play here. You could argue that this is the neckline, right? And then you have you're making the right shoulder as we speak, or you need to go up all the way up here. I think there are merits to both of them, but yeah, let's see. I mean, uranium futures, uranium spot price looks fantastic ever since the bottom here, March 2020. We have just been in an uptrend, broken up here. You can see here retesting and then just grinding higher. Looks absolutely very, very beautiful for my lovely uranium. I love it. Soybeans, to go a bit quicker here, the inverted head and shoulders neckline, nothing to report. Let's go to the daily. Nothing to report. We are still toying with this golden trend line and that blue neckline here. That's your apex. That's bullish, that's bearish. That's how easy it is sometimes. Sugar, look at this one here. Sugar still, ever since the March 2020 low, one big uptrend, bull flag, uptrend, bull flag, a bit of a dipper below here. But this bull flag target is roughly at 35, 34. And I want to show you something as well, long term. 2011, that's the high and this is the high back, for silver. So you can see here that sugar and silver, as you know, or maybe you don't, but I have made a video on that. It's very, very highly correlated to each other. So if silver is if sugar is going up big time, which it looks like, silver will follow, and vice versa. Here we have nickel, good old nickel. Long term, we have it here, cutting right through, and we're still toying with it. Nothing much to report really. We are, as you can see here, that is the channel, and we are just fake out here, and now we're trying again to get back above that long-term golden trend line. That was a bit messy, excuse me, but this is the long-term golden trend line, and we really need to get back above and break out of that one. If we do, and make a new high, nickel looks fantastic. Again, until proven, it's in a downtrend, and it looks very, very bearish. You can see the flags. Oh, you can see the flags here, flag here maybe. So yeah, I want to show you two charts that I don't show, every time we do this. This is silver measured against the M2 money supply. Why do I find this interesting? Let me show you. Look at this one here. This is the 2011 high. There it is. Then we had the March run up here, and then we had the silver squeeze there. Again, touching here, and now we break above. You can see here now we are back testing or retesting that long-term, 10, 13-year long trend line here. Dip below, getting bought up again, dip below, dip below. So I hope to see that we could retest it and then finally get that move here. That would be beautiful. So you can actually see how close we are. We are above the long-term golden trend line resistance here. That's fine. And now we're working on some sort of rounding with the top here. So if and when we take out this shorter term trend line there, then that's when silver blasts to the upside. Also, you can see here, let me lock it in. There it is. What is this? Yes, you have guessed it. There it is, left head and the right shoulder over here. Pit, armpit there. There it is. Again, this is the first confirmation. Then you have the final here at that neckline. Gold again measured against M2 money supply. That's your triangle. Oops. That is your triangle all the way down. That's the lower. Fake out to the downside right there, you can see. And right now we are in a beautiful bullish pennant. Again, playing with that. You can see here every time with that golden trend line, which is piercing right through here. So again, if we can curl up here, then that's insanely bullish for gold, outperforming M2 money supply. So yeah, that's two ways of looking at gold and silver. Again, it needs to prove before we can say hooray, but you can see it here. It's really trying. Hopefully, we doesn't, fail this blue pennant here and then start to curl down. That was a very long video. Sorry for that, but I hope you stayed till the end. As always, leave some great comments, leave some good comments below or bad. Have a great day, and we will definitely see you in the next one, which will be uranium midweek. Cheers.